There was one amongst the jinn who was named Iblis, Shaytan, because he would worship God and he became very obedient to God to the degree where he got to the level of the angels. And then God decided to create insan, us human beings. So God created Adam, right, the first human being. The narratives tell us that Shaytan or Iblis at the time saw that God created this being and started to become jealous, right? He didn't like this being. He would travel through the body of Adam and realize he was hollow, internally empty, meaning the physical being of Adam. And then God at one point decided to breathe the soul that God created into the human being, right, which brought Adam to life. And when God announced to the angels that he's creating this being, the angels, God records them as saying in the Quran, they asked God, are you going to create a being that's going to cause corruption and bloodshed on the earth? Because they saw what the jinn were doing on the earth, the corruption and the bloodshed. And then God asked the angels, including Iblis is in that gathering now, this jinn, to bow down into prostration in front of Adam. Now this prostration was out of respect, not out of worship. All of the angels immediately bow down, but Iblis doesn't. He refuses. And then God asks him, he says, well, why didn't you bow down to Adam? And he said, I am better than him. And then he reasons with God. But God is all knowing. And what Iblis didn't understand, that there's wisdom behind why God created this being and why he asked. But his arrogance and his jealousy prevented him from bowing down to Adam. And this now sets the sort of scene, the historical scene for this battle between good and evil that we find in history. But he says, God asked God to give him time till the day of judgment. So God answers this request. He says, fine, you got time till the day of judgment. And he says, I will try to mislead this being that you've created. I will try to affect him and take him off the straight path. So this animosity and this hatred, this dynamic, the scene is set. So Shaytan, he became Shaytan at this point, the one that's cursed by God.